Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited for this session. And they were just talking about behind stage, giving me a lot of slack or crap for forcing them to do this session. But I really do love the two ladies that are going to be joining me. They're teachers in my district, and they are amazing. I can go to them with an idea, and I don't know if it bothers them after the talk that we just had, but I can go to them with an idea, and then they just take it so many more steps, and they help and grow me in so many different ways. So I'm really excited for this session, and we are doing Google Classroom make and take headers. And yes, this is interactive, and you are going to create. So if you need to, you can pause the video at any time, and you can join us when you're ready, or you can watch the full thing live and then go back and pause as you need those different tips and tricks. Totally up to you and how you learn best. Also, this will be recorded, so feel free to watch it at any time as well. Okay, before I get too distracted, let's go ahead and bring up these two wonderful ladies. So first we have Ashley. And Ashley, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ashley Holcomb, and I am a middle school counselor in Pickerington. Thank you, Stephanie.
And then we have Megan.
Hi, everyone. If you've watched us before, you know Stephanie and I, and we're so excited that Ashley is joining us. And I am an 8th grade history teacher in Pickerington, Ohio.
And just so you guys know, use the chat. Use it so that we can kind of help answer any questions that you have throughout. And then also make sure you're following Gold, Ashley, Megan, and myself on Twitter. And then if you have any follow-up questions, you can reach us there probably best. So again, we're super excited, and let's go ahead and dive in. Oh, dive in because it's summer theme. First things first, we are going to throw a link into the chat. If you don't have access to this link, it is because you're not in our Google group. And you also need to join our Google group. We have trust issues. We're just going to say that live. And if we just let anybody on the web have edit access to some of these resources, I'm afraid that I'm going to get a slide bombed. We had that happen in Meet. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want like cuss words and like things to be ruined on the things that we create. And so then that way I'm able to go into revision history, and I can go and take somebody away or update something. And so make sure if you don't have access to the slides, which we just threw in the chat, they're right here, then you need to join our Google group. And all you have to do is you just go to this link, make sure you're signed in, and click join. If you're having some issue, there is a video, or you can reach out to me and I can manually add you. So make sure you're a part of the group, because if you're not, then you're not going to get access to any of these resources. And the only reason we're doing that is because we're afraid that someone somewhere could think this is really fun and then ruin all of our beautiful slides. Okay. So today's plan. So we are going to spice up your Google Classroom headers, and these can really help with that positive classroom culture. So we want to know in the chat, where do you teach? What do you teach? What grade level? What subjects? Because that's going to be kind of important for today. We're also going to create those custom headers, and you're going to need Google Slides and Canva. So first, we're going to learn some tips and tricks. Then we're going to make our classroom headers, and then you can take. So you can take other people's classroom headers, and then we have another idea that you could use in your classroom. So let's go ahead and let's look at the first step. So the first step is sizing it right. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go to Google Drive, and you're going to go to New. And this is more for later because we have some demo and the make and take. We have it organized for you. But the first thing, go to Google Slide, and then you have to go to File, and then you're going to go to Page Setup. Once you're on Page Setup, there's this custom option. And then I change this to pixels, and then I always have to remember what it is. And then I can type in those new measurements. And I have my classroom header all ready to go. Okay, so pretty simple to set up. So again, that was file, page setup, and then you have your size for your header. And I get rid of the text because I usually want to create my own text. Maybe I want to use word art, and we're going to get into some of those design tips and tricks soon. So with those links, so you're going to need those slides again. So there's the link for the slide. It's in the chat. Go to slide 6. In slide 6, I want you to find what subject you teach. So we have like a high school librarian. Welcome, Amy. Love connecting with you, Amy. You're amazing. So she might pick specials or electives, or she could do just for fun. So again, pick the subject that you teach. And then once you click it, you will find a ton of slides in this deck. And this is where we're going to spend a lot of our time creating. So Megan might pick social studies, where Ashley might pick, she's a counselor, so she might pick something else. So again, you're going to kind of decide, what do I teach? And I taught spec ed, so I might do intervention. And then you will see that there are some slides already in there, and then there's a blank one. You can see that Tammy, she's amazing. She already went in and kind of helped us create or shared what she already had. But you are going to want to find a blank slide for today. So go ahead and choose your subject. Again, that's slide 6 in the slides. And then go ahead and open up a blank template.
All right, once you have your template chosen, I'm going to help you with step 1. Step 1, I think, is really fun because you're choosing your design theme and the background for your header. So I'm going to walk you through some websites that can help you with figuring out the best design or theme for your header. Sometimes it's hard to figure out how to get started, so let's go to some websites that can help us with exploring. So the first few websites are going to help with figuring out a color or a theme. Canvas Colors and Coolers are kind of similar websites, so we'll look at Canvas Colors first. So on Canvas Colors, you can kind of scroll down, and there are templates chosen or templates available for you. And depending on the kind of mood you're in, or the season it is, or a holiday coming up, or maybe your favorite colors, you can kind of click on whatever colors inspire you. And what's nice about this color palette is that once you select a color palette, so I know my favorite color is blue, so I often kind of gravitate towards blue ones. Or I know like the pastels are really fun right now too. So whatever color palette you like, you'll notice that there's colors pre-chosen for you that work really well together. You'll also see underneath the color names, there's a special identification for each color. And this is going to be really important to help you grab or color match that color later for your header. So for example, the mint kind of color, you can copy that identification code or those special letters and numbers. And then when you go back to the header that you're using, if you want to have that exact color, we're going to walk you through the process to kind of color match. I know this step is a little involved, so we'll kind of help you again. If you need to pause and rewatch, feel free to do so. But what we're going to do now is we're going to grab those identification codes and we're going to change the background. So you're going to hit the change the background, go to plus color, and you'll notice, and we'll walk you through that step again, change background, the color at the top. When you hit the plus button, there's a special place where you have to add that code. The code goes at the very top in that box. And again, I got that code from the website. You paste it there, and then when you hit enter, that's where it adds in the background. So again, rewatch the step if you need to, but that's how you get the exact color for your background. So that was on Canvas Colors. Coolers works pretty in a similar way. If you want to color match a color that you found maybe on a website or on an image that really inspires you, you can use a special extension called eyedropper extension. So we'll just kind of find an image now that inspires us. and we'll grab a color from that image. So you'll notice in the extensions bar, there's a eyedropper looking icon, and this is the eyedropper extension. When we click on the eyedropper, then this box pops up that allows us to drop or to click on the image and to capture that exact color. So when I click on the pick a color, I'm clicking on the image that I want, and it's going to highlight colors that are available to me from that image. So any color I want, once I find that, it's going to save that color for me, and it's going to pop up next to the eyedropper. I select the first white box with that color identification code, and once I select that, I can go back to my header, and I'm going to go to change a background or add an image, whatever I would like to do. And I'm going to add that color. I'm going to go to the plus sign. I'm going to add it in the top box. And then bam, that color is there for me. And I can start creating with that color that I have. Again, I use the eyedropper extension. This is going to be one of your go-to extensions if you like to design or create things. This is a really great way to find a color that you like and to match it with another palette or to match it with something else that goes really awesome with the background or header that you're creating. So again, we're just showing you some things that you can use, whether it's from the websites or this eyedropper extension to help you with creating your background. And then again, back to this slide, maybe there's an image that you created yourself and you can add it as a header, or you can even look up images on other image websites, which we will explore later. But you can always search your own or add your own image as the background. So do whatever inspires you as you're going through this design process. Add your own image, add from your computer, search one on the internet, and start building the many components and design aspects to your background. Again, this is just some desks from the classroom, very fitting for a school header. The last option for a background is to add a GIF, and this is one of my favorite ways to kind of spice up the header. So this is a little more complicated, but what I typically do is I do a Google search for a specific GIF background. Like for example, I just searched rainbow GIF background to find that background earlier. Or you can just search any GIF background to see what pops up. Then you want to search images, which is the second option, and just kind of scroll down and find one that inspires you. And then what you do is you can actually click on the GIF that you like, and then you drag it to the slide that you are working on. You drag and you drop. And this is the fun part. You just kind of have to stretch it to make it look good on your slide. If you notice the one you grab the first time doesn't look that great, replace it with another GIF. Again, this is fun. It changes colors. It adds some engagement to your header. So just kind of explore around with any GIFs just to kind of add a layer of movement to your header. Again, this is another fun way to spice up your header is by adding the GIF as a background.
That's a great tip. I wondered how you got it moving. So that's impressive. Thanks, Ashley, for sharing. I love all this stuff.
Very fun.
Mind blown right now.
Mic drop.
Yep, exactly right. We're done. We're done, everybody. That is pretty cool. And Stephanie's playing away.
Yes, it's very fun to play, and you can spend hours just designing like we do.
Right. Yeah, no kidding. That's awesome. I love it. All right, I'm going to talk about step 2 and how to add images onto your slides. Before all of this, before I got involved and really worked with Stephanie, mine was insert image on my Google slide, and it was just boring Google pictures. And then I was introduced to all of these crazy sites that you can use, like the Noun Project, Unsplash, Flat Icons, Canva, Icons Mania, and was like, whoa, there's so many more things you can do. And it's just amazing. So I really like all of these different little ways to find images to make your Google headers, to make your anything just a little more unique. One of the things I did learn from Stephanie, because I would add things and she's like, yeah, you should remove the background. I'm like, what? How do you do that? So she said, well, if you look for either transparent images or use Removebg. I was like, oh my gosh. And then you can take off the background. Seriously, my mind was blown with all of this stuff. So now that's all I do when I make my things is I'm like, well, let's get rid of this background because it'll look better on what we've created, especially on our previous slides. So Stephanie's going to just kind of look up some information for us to kind of give us a background. And then she's going to walk you through how simple it is to get rid of the background using Removebg. So whatever you want to find. So if you just go to remove.bg, and I linked that on the slides. Once you have your image, you can just drag it over to your remove.bg tab, drop it anywhere, and then it'll give you your image without the background. Pretty sweet, if you ask me. And then you can take that image and I can't remember now, download, or you can drag it over. My mind's not right now. And you can add it to whatever you're working on.
And one quick tip that I learned from Ashley is if you click this edit button, you can erase and restore. So maybe I am like, I really want the inside back and I want it to be white. I can bring that back by going to that edit and restore. And then I can change that brush size so I don't have to spend so much time. And now we've got that. And then just download. And maybe I don't want them to have an eye. I can erase it. So that was a tip that I learned from Ashley, which I am thankful for because I use that all the time.
That's also nice too if when you download something, if maybe it doesn't edit correctly or download correctly, you can go back and fix it yourself because sometimes the images don't pull correctly on this website and you have to fix them yourself.
And
so it's always fixable.
And on that edit part, can't you add like different backgrounds?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you wanted, I mean, maybe not for the smiley face. We did one to show my students about a teacher that was standing up in front of the classroom. And so then we were messing around with the background to show them what that would look like. So that's a pretty cool option too. Other sites that we have, like I mentioned, the Noun Project, Icons Mania, they are all great ways to find short little icons. My students went crazy with this when we've done some of our Number Mania activities. Or thin slides or just anything to add something unique to whatever project you're working on.
And all of those are super easy. You just click and you can drag them on over. So like this cute little llama. I might have to search it.
And I do love llamas.
No, I'm loving them after Slimes Mania posted some.
Yes. And then you can just drag it over. And it's so simple to just click and drag. I mean, you don't have to really do much of anything. I love it.
I know, it's fun. All right, the next step is adding movement. So there's a couple different ways that you can add movement to your headers. And the way that I'm going to show you is using Google Slides, and it's kind of like stop motion. So right here, we've got our headers, and I'm going to go ahead and steal this blank one. And I'm going to just recap a couple other things that we've learned is using that eyedropper extension, pick a color. And I love Ashley. She always brings over a color palette and it's always in our slide. And then when we're done, we delete it. So I just love that she thinks about that because I don't think that way. And then she started doing it and I'm like, oh, that's so smart. And that's why you need a group of people that you can create with. Okay, so I've got my blue. And then let's say I want to copy this. Wait, I don't want to copy it yet. I lied. I'm going to go ahead and add the text box. And I want it to start with, I'm going to say hello. Well, actually, I don't know if I should do hello because of some of it when I get to the stop motion. Let's do welcome. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add a text box. I'm going to change it to my favorite font. And then I'm going to make this super big. Okay. I also want to add my Bitmoji. And we just use the extension for our Bitmoji. How did you bring over the color palette? You want to go over that, Ashley, while I'm creating?
Sure. What I do is I just go to one of the sites like the Canvas Colors, the Cooler site, or I just do a Google search and I find any palette that I want, and you can just copy and paste that right onto your slide, or depending on where it is on the website, if it's easier to take a screenshot and then drag and drop it from your computer. So whatever's easier for you, depending on how it's displayed on the website. Take a screenshot or copy and paste it straight from the website, because then what's nice is you can kind of keep using it to kind of match any color.
That's a great tip.
Hope that helps you.
Yes. Okay. And you can see here, I've got multiple slides. All I did while Ashley was talking was I right click and I duplicate the slide. And then I can come in here, add my M, move my Bitmoji just a little bit, copy, paste, or duplicate it again, add the E, move it over just a little bit. And now I might use that eyedropper extension, go to our color palette, and maybe I say, I want this to be orange. Oops. Maybe I want this one to be that yellow color. Again, going to that eyedropper, grabbing her colors, because these are super pretty colors. And again, we only have one more color to grab. And what's nice too is that it keeps the colors in your recent like custom palette for that deck. And I might change these to white just so it pops. But right here, if I go up to my colors, it's all right here. Every color that I've added to this slide deck get added. And so you don't need to keep adding that hex code. You just have to add it that one time, and then it's on your slides, and you just have to pick what you want to use.
If it's easier for you to copy and paste the colors from the Coolers website or Canvas Colors, you can. Sometimes because we use these sites so much, we just color match with the eyedropper extension, but do whatever is easiest for you when you're trying to match colors. Save all the colors initially from the direct website, or just use the eyedropper extension, whatever's faster for you.
And so now you can see I'm just going into background, changing them up a little bit. And it's pretty quick because I already got them in there. All right, so now that I've got my slides, if I move just a little bit, you can see me moving and the welcome's coming on. So we've got our stop motion, it's moving all in one thing. And kids love to create these as well, these like stop motion slides. Okay, now that I've got my stop motion slides, I'm going to kind of move this real quick up here. And again, you could delete that if you're done with it. The next thing you're going to do is there's two different things. You could take this, or three different things. You could take this and you can watch a video on how to create stop motion if you need additional support. You can also create stop motion in Canva. So we're not getting a whole lot into Canva today, but in Canva, you can do the exact same thing. So right here, I've got my Bitmoji header, and I can duplicate it. And I can keep duplicating it, add more and add more, move it around. And then I'm able to go over here to the downloads button. And instead of a PNG, I make it a GIF. And then it would download as a GIF. Okay, so that's one way. If I'm using Google Slides, I could use Tall Tweet. So Tall Tweet's a pretty cool site. You just add your Google slide presentation and it creates a GIF. The one, though, that I really like is it's a Chrome extension. So up here, I'm on my demo, and you go up, and it's called Chrome Capture, and you drag a box around what you want it to see, and then you hit this little video icon. Make sure your mouse is not in here because it will capture that. I learned that the hard way. And then Ashley was like, your mouse is in it, because she catches every single detail, which I love and hate at the same time.
I'm sure it's a blessing and a curse, perfectionism. Yep.
Yes, yes. So then I'm going to hit this camera icon, and it's catching those frames. And so then I can move I can decide how many, maybe how long I want to stay on there. I can decide whatever I want to do. And then after that, I can download this, and you can kind of see it. I mean, this was a really bad demo of it, but there we go. Then I can download it and upload that to my Google Classroom. So again, it is just going to this extension. Let me start at the W before I freak out. Yes, I love Canva too, Amy. So right there, you capture the part that you want in the video, and then you hit play and you start to move it.
That's pretty sweet. I got so many ideas now.
I know. And then you can hit done, and there it is. Okay.
My problem is that I'm going to put all of these things on one slide. It's going to look so bad. So I got to limit myself. Edit.
Yeah. All right, Megan, you want to help us download some of these?
Sure. So step 4 is our download. And one way that you can do this is back on your slides. If you go to File and Download, and then if you click on the PNG image. So this is just if it's just a regular image. And then if it's a GIF, right.
And you're using, it depends on what you're using.
Right. So if it has any motion in it, Stephanie, we should do the option 2, correct? The screen record.
Yeah. So screen record, and then on Chrome Capture, you'll just hit that little icon down here. It was like a saving icon, and that's what you would save. If you're in Canva, you would go to download and then as a GIF. If you're in Slide Tall Tweets, you just save it. So it just depends on what you're on.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Since I've not done this with the edits or the actions and movement. So if it's just regular, file download as a PNG, and then if you've got anything moving, you've got a couple options we've got listed there.
And then once you have downloaded your header, you are ready to upload it to your Google Classroom, which is the most exciting part to kind of showcase it. So you'd want to go to your Google Classroom. And then in the banner or the header area, there's an area on the right bottom corner that says Upload Photo. So you'll click on Upload Photo. And then this is a little trick. Whenever I download things, I always leave them on my browser. I don't keep them on my computer. That way I can just drag and drop them right from the browser. So I'm just going to drag and drop the PNG header. And then this is where you want to resize it as big as you can to capture the best image of your header. So again, I'm just resizing it to keep it in that box. And then you're going to select the theme, and then voila, there you go. Your header looks amazing.
And I'm going to show the GIF real quick. Same steps. Drag and drop it. Resize it. Maybe.
I notice sometimes when you click outside of the box on the bottom and the top, it helps you resize quicker.
Oh, okay. Let's see. And you do want to think about, like, see how my letters over welcome? These things will not be removed from Google Classroom.
Oh, yeah.
You can take demo classes, going to, like, whatever your title is for your class, the class code, all of that stays there. So maybe I should have moved the welcome over here, or I kind of like that look. You know, it's going to be hidden and kind of behind. You can decide what you want that to look like. And then it will stay that dark. That is for accessibility reasons. So there's nothing we can do about that. All right, so now you are going to create. So you got some resources and we are going to create with you. So Ashley, what one are you thinking about working on today?
I'm going to go to the Office Superstars.
Okay. Megan?
I'll be in social studies.
Okay. And then I'll do intervention. So if everybody right now, go ahead and pick one of those. I know some of you might already be in working, which is awesome. But if not, go ahead and pick one of these topics. Again, that's slide 12. So you're able to go in and pick one of those. And then we're going to just set a timer and we are going to think out loud. And Amy, as we're having the timer, I'll walk through. I'll create another one that has stop motion. So that way you can see that again. But we're going to set a timer and we're just going to work and we're going to talk out loud. And I will hop between Megan's and kind of just say like, what are you doing? And Ashley's, and just kind of see what they're working on as we're creating. So again, go ahead and find your subjects because this is a make and take. We want to take some. So we don't want to just have all these different creations. And if you're still stuck, Ashley was super nice and she created some inspiration for you. Do you want to talk about these, Ashley?
Yeah, sure. So you'll notice on, sorry, I'm in my Office Superstars already. What slide is that, Stephanie?
We're on the need inspiration.
Yeah, but what slide for their reference?
Slide 12.
Bottom.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so click on that for inspiration. And there's a lot of slides to kind of help you get started. Some generic ones for any subject. Some where you can just kind of type your own message. We added our Bitmojis just for fun to kind of help you with placement if you're not sure where to place things or what kind of themes, but feel free just to kind of delete those and add your own. We gave you lots of topics already in there for different subjects, different themes. So just the kind of fun for to kind of help you get started. If you like something in here, Stephanie, do they have access to kind of copy and paste?
Yeah, you can view this, but you only have view access only. So if you like this one, you're just going to go command copy on the slide over here. So you're going to make it orange or like that orangish color and then hit command copy. And then you're going to go over and I'm going to put this in social studies, command paste, do not link. And there we go. And then I can say, welcome to social studies.
Oh, thanks for making mine, Stephanie.
There you go. And you can use my Bitmoji.
Emoji though.
Oh yeah, I'll fix
that. Take off my Bitmoji unless you want your kids to be like, who is that crazy lady? No. So that is how you can use. If you like these a lot, feel free. Or if maybe you just want to change something in here, you can. So again, command copy. I'm going to go over to Office Superstars. And then hit do not link. And then I could say whatever I wanted to say.
Yeah, so we encourage stealing or taking. So please do that.
Yes. Okay, so let's go ahead and also real quick before we start the timer. Oh my gosh. Canva. You can explore more on Canva. So if you open up another tab and you will want to get your educator Canva account. It's free for educators. Go sign up now. So right here in Canva, you just type in Google Classroom headers in the search. And then you can use all of these amazing headers that are already made as well. And you can just customize to fit your classroom. So again, I will work in Canva. That way you guys can kind of see it out loud. And then Ashley and Megan will work in the Google Slides. All right, let's go ahead and start that timer.
Oh, I love that timer, Stephanie.
Yeah, I made it. I made it. And it has that beach wave.
That's funny.
And you just put the link on how to create your own timers. And there's a make and take on timers. I think it's December.
Yeah, we got it a ways away. But yeah, December, come join us.
All right. So I'm actually going to turn off the waves. So right here in Canva, I really like this one. So I'm going to go ahead and steal it. And then I'm going to say, welcome to math, because I don't want it to see geometry. And then I'd like to change the title up here. Right, and that was it. So maybe I just want to use that, or I can go over here to elements and I can pick out, maybe I want to add this little fun little graphic, or maybe I don't want to add it. So then I can just kind of delete and change whatever I want to add. You can see right there. I can go over to uploads. I can upload any images that I might want to add. So let's go ahead and add the gold logo. I can also change the text. If I wanted to change the text, I can do so, or I can add a custom text that is already created and add my own words. Background here, maybe I don't like the blue and I wanted like rocks or something like that. I could do that. I'm going to undo that because that does not look good.
That's good for science.
What?
That's good for science.
Yeah. This is not for math. Okay. And then if you go to more, you'll see how I have Giphy, Bitmoji, emojis. If you go to more, you can add your own like add-ons. So maybe I want to add my Bitmoji. You can connect it, and then I can do like a math, and I might do this one. Okay. And then I might go to more, and maybe I want something with Giphy, and maybe it's like a flower. You can add whatever you want to add. Okay. To make this stop motion, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to duplicate this page. And then I can decide what I want this to look like. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just take out the M, duplicate. I'm going to change it to A. I'm going to change my Bitmoji. Then I'm going to duplicate this again. T, change my Bitmoji again. Duplicate, and then the H. And again, you can do whatever you want with yours. It's totally up to you how you kind of customize that. I also want to take away some flowers so then they pop up and out. Okay, so that looks pretty good for my stop motion. And then again, I just go to this download button, change it from a PNG to a GIF, and then I go ahead and I hit download. And I should actually go to the math one. I'll go to need inspiration. There we go. And then you can see my MATH, it went up and that kind of stuff. And I can add this if anybody wants to use this template. So to share this, I'm going to share it as a template. So that way, if you want to make a copy of it, you can use it without ruining my edits. But yeah, you can see the flower went away. And again, you can do that with anything. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at what Megan's creating. Oh, I like it.
Well, we have paw time at my school, which is like 15 minutes at the start of the day. So I thought, well, this could be for my paw time classroom. Since we are the Tigers, I should probably say that. We are the Tigers at my school. So I thought that would be kind of cool. I haven't added any words yet. And then I found the flag on the one above, kind of glistening.
Oh,
that's so pretty.
This one.
The problem is, sorry, with these, I'm finding myself less is more. So to make it not too crazy. So, and the other thing is when you are changing your background, make sure you do not set to theme or reset theme, because that'll change all of the slides. On
all purple.
Yeah.
This is why we have you in a Google group, so we can yell at you and make fun of you. But all you have to do is hit undone.
Yep. So if it happens, it happens. Like my students do all the time, and somebody quickly changes it and then acts like they didn't do it. It's totally fine. Just fix it. But just remember that.
All right. And then Ashley, are you on this? Oh,
Office Superstars.
there we go.
I really like that rainbow gift background. So I'm using the chalkboard for my message. And then I'm trying to find a Bitmoji that I like. So I'm just in the process now of trying to find one that matches the theme, but it's not too much.
And I'm going to real quick, we've got 3 more minutes on creating. So keep on creating. But I'm going to walk through how to use that extension again to save these GIFs. So Ashley has a GIF background. So this is not stop motion. So we're just going to stay on this slide. So I hit that extension. I drag it to where I want it. And then I just hit that video camera and I just stay on that slide. Again, if I was doing stop motion, I would hit that arrow down and quickly get it to change. But I just want that background to show different. So there we go.
Make sure your mouse isn't on the slide anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think I did it. I think I was good.
No, I moved mine too because I was on there. I was on the text box and it would have seen that.
Yeah, and then you just hit that save button and then hit save. So again, right here's that. It's like hidden in the corner and then just hit save. And then I just save it. And then if I go to our test Google Classroom, because I want to show you something, the difference. Here, I'm just going to save it as a PNG.
Go up.
There it is. Download PNG image. I'm going to go to my Google Classroom. Demo class, upload. And you can change these as much as you want, your classroom headers. So maybe you want to do seasonal themes, or maybe you have an announcement. Like maybe Ashley wants to say in December, don't forget to get your parent's signature on this thing. Okay, you can do that. So this one is the PNG. The background's not moving. Now if I do upload and I get my GIF, oh, that was the wrong GIF.
You can resize it too.
I know, I didn't. I just clicked.
I know, you're just going so fast.
Yeah, clicked happy. Did I not save it? I don't think I saved it. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, let me redo that.
But while you're looking for that, I'm not sure if you're somebody who uses Screencastify, but Stephanie is converting me to use Chrome Capture. I think it's a lot easier to use than Screencastify. You can capture or screen record a lot quicker and save it a lot easier. So if you're somebody who uses Screencastify, consider coming over to the dark side to Chrome Capture to screen record.
And this is more for GIFs. I don't know. I have not created I don't think you can create videos in this. I don't know. Okay, now I've got it. So it's right here. And then let's go over here, drag and drop, resize. And there it is. So you can see the background is moving in this one. So the difference between a PNG and a GIF. All right, 21 seconds. So finished up those slides. And again, these slides will be open. So you can go in and edit as you see fit. Or maybe you're like, oh, I really want this one. You can go in at any time to do that. Hi, Jeremy. Yes, it is GIF. It is not GIF. GIF.
Yes, GIF.
Ask or Megan.
GIF. I don't know. I can't remember. You asked me too quickly. GIF, GIF, GIF. It's Giphy. It's a GIF. It's not Jiffy.
No, that's the peanut butter.
I know. It's my favorite kind.
I know. I know. Yeah, Jeremy and I have a long debate about that. It's gone on for a couple months. Grr. All right, our timer is up. Okay, last thing we're going to cover today is just some other ideas. So again, you could take your header and you could change it every single month, every single week, whenever you want, with holiday, with what's coming up. You could say, don't forget to turn in this paper, or we're learning about this topic or this unit, because those do change very often. Another idea is to get your students creating. So do a student contest, have kids create these fun backgrounds, and you could just do kind of what we did. Set up that page, set up and just add a bunch of blank slides. And for example, I know the social studies curriculum very well, thanks to Megan. And so I could do like American Revolution as a Google slide template for my students. And then every single kid, it's kind of like thin slides. They each get one slide, and then they can decorate it to capture what we learned from that unit. And then I could use that in my class the following year. I could use that in the next week's lesson. I could also do like a pre-assessment with this and kind of go, what do you know about the American Revolution? Everybody gets 10 minutes to explore the web, create your classroom header, and then the one that is the right one and that's best could be one of those winners. So that could be a way. But right here, if you click on slide 14, this just kind of walks you through a student contest and how to set that up. And so what you might do is you might introduce the content. So what are you teaching? We said American Revolution. Then the students create. So again, the students would all be in one deck, or maybe you assign it in Google Classroom and they each get their own, and then they can add whatever they want to. Oh, this one's really cute, the Welcome to Technology. And then after they create their banner, the students vote. So down here in the speaker notes, you can kind of see below, there's some hidden links. This could be an example of a Google form. So you can make a copy of it, and then you would just put in all those different images. So you would save them all as a PNG, and then the kids would vote for which one they liked best. Or you could add the slide number and just say, okay, look at the slides. And 15, like which one do you like the best? And then your students can vote for the banner that they would want to represent that unit, and then they can put it in that classroom. And then again, you add that winning banner to your classroom. So get the kids to create. That could be a fun back to school activity as well. Like what do you envision for this class? What do you envision for this year? And everybody makes their own slide. So again, that was on slide 14 if you want to explore that option. But now we just kind of want to know, what would you like to make and take? So we are just starting to create this series. We are working on our website. I don't think it's live yet, but on Gold EDU, there is going to be a session in here. It's going to say make and take once we get it all organized. Ashley's been working really hard on it. Oh, wrong one. But we're going to probably publish that after today's session, and everything will also be there as well. And you'll be able to see the upcoming sessions, but also keep voting so that we know kind of what areas you want to create in. And then we also have some fun upcoming sessions that we're finding, like authors and people like that want to create with us. So again, I can't even find it right now. So make sure you join in those other sessions. And then the next month, because we're going to be doing this monthly, is going to be on the 12th. However, in between now and then, we have one on math reps, and we're actually calling it Edu Reps because we're going to do a lot of different things with it. And we don't want just math people because we love all people. But you can join us on that session as well. So we do have some coming up in between now and then. And then, as always, thank you so much for joining us. And just a reminder, you can continue to make and take all these different classroom headers. We don't want to just limit your time right now. Anything else you guys have to say before we close?
No, but if you have questions, reach out to any of us through Twitter. We're always around to help answer any questions that you might have. Send us a DM, Because that's how the best way we found is to connect with everybody is just to keep asking questions. So somebody out there knows what to do.
Yeah. And then we just want to say thank you to you and to all of these different links and resources that we kind of stole and use. But we want to make sure we give credit, because credit is due for all of these amazing websites that we're able to use in our presentations. Also, feel free to buy us a coffee. We work really hard and lots of hours on these different presentations. So feel free to sneak in a coffee so that way we can keep creating when we're tired. But thank you so much, guys. And we hope you have a great day. And we hope you enjoyed this session.
Bye, everybody. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you. We love your designs.